Start with the identification tag on the side. Here you can find the manufacturer, the date it was manufactured, VIN number, model, gross weight, tire size and pressures. Underneath is tire chart, and in the yellow you have cargo weights. Up front, behind your propane tanks is your battery. These aren't maintenance-free batteries. You may have to add water to them at some point. When you're not in use, if you're not going to be using your unit for a while, I would disconnect it, and there is a disconnect there. And for winter, I would store it somewhere warm, just to extend the life of it. You have a spare tire mounted underneath there. You do need a fairly deep socket. I do think that it is the same size as your wheel nuts, but I would double check on that. Make sure that you have a socket deep enough to get that off. You have breakaway here, and one thing to note with these breakaways, if this key pulls out with your battery hooked up, it does activate your brakes, and if it's left like that for an extended period of time, it can do damage. So just kind of keep an eye, make sure that key stays in. Your propane tank cover, let's pull that off. You have two 20-pound propane tanks, selector in the middle. The arrow points to whichever tank's going to be feeding. You'll see it's red here, it goes to green when you turn the propane on. And up front you have a power jack, on and off switch for the light, and up and down here. Front, you have stabilizer jacks in all four corners, your short cord and your crank for your stabilizer jacks here. Your sewer dump is here. They are labeled body waste and liquid waste. You have a shower with hot and cold. This here is for your black water or black tank flush. If you are going to be flushing your tank, just make sure that you have your valve open, or it just fills your tank up and you'll have a mess. City water, if you have a campground you're going to that has water right at your campsite, you can hook up the garden hose into there. This is a vent for your fridge. All the controls are on the inside, so there's no reason to go in behind here. You'll notice there's a little hose sticking out. That's for condensation, so you want to make sure that stays sticking out. You got cable TV and satellite hookups here. These are inputs. Plug for your 30 amp short cord there. Water fill for your water tank, and then the drain outlet right below it. That white hose coming down is the water drain, and that's just has a plug, and the plug is, I believe, at your hot water heater, but we'll see. We'll find it here somewhere. Here's your hot water heater. Yeah, so the black plug is for your water drain, and the white one is for your drain for your hot water heater. These are propane and 110 electric hot water heaters. All the controls are on the inside, so only need to know about the drain there. Sewer hose is in the bumper. The little black thing below your clearance lights is a mount for a backup camera. These units are pre-wired for backup cameras, so if that's something that you'd be interested in the future, it's quite easily to hook up. Cubby hole in the back, and there is a partition that just takes 2 screws, but just to show you the valves at the back of the hot water heater. When the valves are pointing toward the hot water heater like they are, both of them are, that's feeding the hot water heater. When you're going to go to winterize, you're going to want to switch those valves so they're in line with this bypass hose here. So both valves will be pointing in line with that. When you go into the spring after you've winterized, you'll keep them like that. You'll pump fresh water through to get all the antifreeze out, and then you'll switch them back to feeding your hot water heater. You have a rear ladder. It's a good idea to inspect your roof once a year to make sure you don't have any rips or tears or crack sealant. Power awning. Your entrance door here. This is the intake and exhaust for your furnace. Just a note not to store anything in front of it. On your wheels, these center caps pop off, and there is grease nipples behind. You can grease your wheel bearings. It's a good idea to do that once a year, and you don't have to grease a whole bunch, but a couple pumps, good. Cable, TV, so this is output. If you're going to put a TV out here, this is where you would hook it up. You have a couple outside speakers. This is your vent for your range. It has a little flapper in here, and the flapper can be snapped into place back there. And there's a place here for a solar panel if you ever decide to do that. It'll plug in there. And then your front cubby. There's 2 light switches. One is for the strip here, so it's that one. And this one here turns on the front cap lights. And then you have a table up there, an outside table. So we'll go inside and take a look.